All right, everybody. Welcome back to Whiskey Dads. This is Uncle Nearest show, a Sunday brunch conversation with brand ambassadors from Uncle Nearest around the country. We're starting off a little lighthearted by taking off our masks. Matt Carlson, based here in Los Angeles, and Speedy looks fantastic. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself next so you don't pass out?
Oh, there we go.
He's alive.
Yeah.
Do I see just a little sweat? Is that what
It was all fogged up. All fogged
Hey,
up.
we can never be too careful, though. I don't know where y'all been.
Facts.
Precisely. Yes.
Yeah,
Be
hi,
careful.
everyone. I'm Speedy. I'm out of Nashville, Tennessee, and really glad to be here.
All right.
Nice.
Good to see these guys.
And
Eggman.
these two guys match. If you want to tell us about your masks, Speedy and I have those too. They're from Uncle Nearest for us to be out in the market. But
Heck yeah. I love my mask, especially being here, Jay Madison, here in Atlanta, Georgia. We're supposedly open for business, but I'm not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe. This is like my PSA. Like, please, everybody, stay careful, stay safe, and stay smart. You know, it's not a good idea. So make sure you stay safe and take care of yourselves and your loved ones. And when it's time to come out, then it's time to come out. But right now, I don't think it's a good time. That's just my opinion. And so, yeah, from that standpoint, go get a Mac up there in the DMV, homie.
Yo. Let me see if I can take this thing off. All right. There we go.
it's hard, man. I mean, I feel like we can talk about how annoying it is to wear a mask. It's very important, but
It
man,
is. But I'll tell you, I actually kind of like it. I really do, man. It gives you a different look. I mean, why not? Even though, you got to be careful where you go. Accessorize.
you know,
We can make them really nice, get a plaid one. Who knows?
not everybody can pull off a mustache. You gotta have
Exactly. There you
something.
go. What's going on, everybody? I'm Mac Newell. I'm out in Virginia. Listen, like everyone has said, make sure you are staying safe at this time. Very important. We want to make sure we flatten that curve. But yeah, I'm excited to be here with Whiskey Dads. Let's chop it up. Like you guys got something delicious over there. Mine is kind of hidden in mine, but it's there.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay, Mac. We know. We know. So
I
today
can't make these sexy things.
Look at that. And garnish. See, that's the sign of a professional here. Anyway. Today for brunch, we're having a perfect Manhattan. I like to call it the nearly perfect, since it's with Uncle Nearest. So perfect Manhattan is 2 ounces of whiskey, an ounce of dry vermouth, an ounce of sweet vermouth, some orange bitters. Ooh, Dolan.
Oh.
Speedy, we got the same vermouth. I feel very close to it.
Got a little product placement.
Oh. Okay.
Look at that. So a lot of us are familiar with, the regular Manhattan, which is near and dear to my heart. But the perfect Manhattan is a little crisper, a little bit drier. I do miss the cherry at the bottom. I'm not gonna lie. But the orange peel kind of releases a bunch of citrus. Speedy, you want to talk a bit about your beautiful garnish and your enjoyment of
with my garnish, with the garnish itself, what you want to do as you're expressing it over is make sure the oils get into the cocktail itself, right? Yeah. Okay, so that was accomplished with what you did and what I did. What I did was more like a life imitating art, because.
So how you feel inside, all curled up
Well, because my insides are coming out. Because this is referred to as a pigtail, and the way that I've been conducting myself since the pandemic started, like I said, I'm gonna have to go a size up in my shirt. I went with pigtail.
Indeed.
I love it.
I think we all getting a little chubby now.
And Jay, you're making your cocktail right now. Is that true?
I'm making mine right now, but I do not have, apologies, I do not have dry vermouth. So I'm making a regular Manhattan, and I'm doing mine on the rocks.
I do enjoy a Manhattan on the rocks.
Yeah.
Are you using that? Do I see 1820 down there?
Whoa.
No.
Baller.
Well, that is right there. Yeah, right there.
Or is that just for?
That's just a prop. It's just
to show off.
Yeah, it's just to show off.
I was about to say, brother.
Yeah,
you getting it in.
Oh man, the 1856. Of course, you do the 2 ounces of that, like you said. The Dolan, of course, that's a staple. And so I just do an ounce of that since I don't have the dry vermouth, because half ounce. And then I'm gonna actually put in there a little orange bitters. I'm gonna do me about 2 dashes of orange bitters.
Is that normal for your regular Manhattan as opposed to Angostura?
Nah.
You just want to be cool.
Play
with the orange kids over here.
Yeah, and then I'll put 2 dashes of regular bitters in there.
Ooh.
Angostura.
Nice.
Come on now.
And that's it.
Come on, Jay.
And then I'm good to go. Swirl and I'm good.
All right, everybody. Let's get into it. 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 All right, everybody. Let's get into it
That's what I'm talking about, baby, right there.
Building
Look
it
at
in
him.
glass. Well done.
Oh.
That's it.
Let me tell you what I got. Double Uncle single cube. It's just, I'm not
It
too big
works.
on cocktail. It works. It hits the spot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I was up late last night, so this is probably gonna put me under. Hopefully, hopefully within this amount of time, I'm still sensible. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah,
Good luck, bro. Good luck.
thank you.
Yes, indeed.
So each week on Whiskey Dads, we talk about being a dad, having a family, being in quarantine, and our relationship to whiskey, which is hopefully separate from those two things, but sometimes not.
Sometimes not.
And so I wanted to talk today a little bit about cocktails. I know this is probably true across the country, right? But people have different experiences and relationships with cocktails.
Yes.
Some of us came into this job with Uncle Nearest with cocktail heavy background. I did not. I worked in fine dining. Michelin, no, right? Michelin recommended restaurant in New York, but did not work behind the bar there. And then eventually, whiskey was kind of a hobby, but I was always drinking it neat, right? And so
there you go.
Eventually, yeah, I'm with you. I
Yes.
do enjoy cocktails. I'm going to interrupt myself for a second to point out this book that I've just handily placed here.
Oh.
So Nick Griffith, who is also in Los Angeles for Uncle Nearest, gave me
What's up,
a
Nick?
quarantine
Young Nick.
reading list, which includes this beautiful book by Death and Co., which
Wow.
I'm sure,
Oh, yeah.
Speedy and Jay can talk a
Gotta
little bit
know
more
that
about. But an influential cocktail bar in New York, which I never went to when I lived there. So I don't know. There's for me, cocktails often felt a little fussier. Speedy's got it.
Wow.
Yeah.
I should really have him
Okay.
talk about Death and Co.
Now I see. Now I see what's going on. I need to get mine.
I don't have that book. I'm sorry.
All
I
right, so
have
we're
a
the
lot
same
more
team.
respect for the intricacy of cocktails, but for when I started in whiskey, I was like, I just want to have things neat and experience those flavors. And then when I really got into the whiskey business, I was running a whiskey bar that had 200 North American whiskeys, and we generally poured most of our pours neat, right? And we did have some classic cocktails, so I do know how to make some things, but I'm not necessarily creating my own cocktails, right? So I thought we'd talk a little bit about cocktails. Maybe the first cocktail you guys remember having, which is going to be possibly embarrassing. It is for this guy. What you kind of graduated into, and then for Speedy and Jay, who have a little more experience than Mac and I behind the stick, talking about how you got into building cocktails and maybe creating your own. So I'll start first. I will tell you. My first go-to cocktail in college was the Long Island iced tea.
There we go.
Oh, very
Come on.
embarrassing.
All right.
When you absolutely don't want to remember anything else, there you go.
Yeah, it's.
I suffered that one in high school.
Oh, high school. You were an early starter.
But were you of drinking age?
I just incriminated myself.
No.
Oh, come on.
It was flavored.
I mean, it was even more embarrassing in high school.
It was out of a bottle.
Storm, right? Yeah.
Montebello iced tea.
I didn't know they made Long Island.
About to say, I didn't either. So how does that even work? They make their own spirit and then they.
It doesn't work out well at all.
There's like a subculture of canned cocktails before we got to the premium canned cocktails.
Okay.
That have been around for a while, but are pretty disastrously awful.
Oh,
I've been out with distributor reps who are like, oh yeah, this is 30% of my business at these stores that buy like buzz balls, those plastic ball which are like colors. There's a market for that stuff. We perhaps aren't drinking it, but anyway, so Long Island iced tea. My sister won't, especially now that I have a whiskey cabinet full of very beautiful, more expensive things. My sister will never let me forget the fact that we were in a bar when I was in college, and I ordered a Long Island iced tea, and she said, "Really?" And I said, "Yeah, most bang for your buck, man."
Bingo.
Because
it is.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
In college, and you don't have a whole lot of money. Long Island iced tea is going to get you drunk pretty quick.
Yeah.
So.
Forget the taste. Yeah. You're going right for the experience.
Yes.
It's a vehicle.
Perfect.
I then graduated in my early 20s, I'd say, to a gin and tonic, mostly because it sounded cool.
It does.
And sophisticated. And I couldn't mess up the order. Nobody's going to ask you, do I want
what goes in it?
Someone on the rocks? Do you want like a specific
gin and tonic?
It still felt like masculine and
absolutely.
Like pine
and
junipers, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll have a gin and tonic.
Nice. Nothing wrong with that even today.
I'm curious for you guys, what were your first cocktails? And particularly if you're embarrassed of it, because I want to hear that.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, whoa.
So I
Speedy, you
guess
want to go next?
We're gonna lay it all out
was
there.
it Speedy?
Sure, why not?
Speedo. Let's do it, Speedo.
Please, please.
Yeah, you see, I changed my name.
I see it. I
Mhm.
see it. I
Hopefully
like
not
it.
your outfit though.
Yeah, there you go.
What
Stand
happens
on
when you're
air.
down?
Yeah,
We're going down that rabbit hole they talked about. All right.
Oh,
Straight
man,
We
it's
gotta
all good.
keep it playing, guys.
Straight
Business on the
jammies,
top.
man.
Business on the top.
Yeah, it's like my Tennessee hair, man.
Facts.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
All
we're
right.
all getting a little long in the. I see a lot of hats here. I should have worn one
Oh, yeah.
today.
Man.
We all
Yeah.
need some haircuts, I think.
But
So,
not
Speedy,
at
what were-
barbershops.
Oh no! You have your
Yeah.
kids cut your hair, man.
Happy. Oh, Lord.
Oh yeah, my daughter's done to do it.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So
Jeez.
yeah,
I think-
I'll let her give me a mullet first just to say I did it. And
There you
then
go.
we'll ahead and clean it
Why
up.
yeah.
not?
That would be cool. Nice little activity in the house. Yeah. I'm thinking
Yeah.
about that. Like the wife will cut the hair. I'm going to put the guard on, give me an even
Uh-huh.
Steven. But I mean,
Yeah.
before we, while we're getting into that, just have the kids, tear up daddy's
Have
hair.
some
a little
fun.
something,
Take some
something. Yeah.
pictures. Put it on
Yeah.
social media.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
gotta
it
get
should
that
be
on
fun.
video.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
funny. Before all this happened, you guys know I had a buzz cut like down to 1 or 2 guard for about 5 years, and I've been growing my hair out, thinking that I could get because my wife has cut my hair for the last 5 years because I was like, this can't be that hard. This is a good story actually. We're getting sidetracked, but so when I started shaving my head, we had just moved to LA. I didn't have a job yet. And I was like, you can do this. And if you mess up, we don't know anybody. It doesn't matter. And she was so nervous, and she did mess it up.
Uh-oh.
She forgot to put the guard on and took it right down to the skin. Back
Nice.
Wow.
And
Wow.
she
Nice.
was so upset. And I was like, I don't care. I'll wear a hat for a week, right? Like,
There you
no
go.
big deal.
Good
And when
man.
you have your hair that short, it grows back very quickly.
Very fast.
Yeah, but then for the next 5 years or so, she cut my hair. But now it's getting to the length where it needs to be, professionally
Okay.
looked after.
Oh, absolutely. I understand. Mine the same.
So I'm
Oh, yeah.
growing my mullet too, Speedy.
There we go. There we
But
go.
Speedies, put us on real quick now.
Where's
With
that
you
going?
yep, cocktails.
All right. So yeah, when I first started drinking cocktails, like most people, I started out with back then was referred to as a basic one recipe. So you had like your spirit plus one mixer, right? So with me, my jam was Crown and 7. That was my gateway drug.
Mhm.
And then from there, like the first cocktail I ever ordered anywhere, I'll never forget, was a Hurricane at Pat O'Brien's in New Orleans.
Oh, right
Oh.
on.
And so getting it layered, and yeah, so I fell in love with tiki culture and stuff like that. Of course, I love rum, but then I moved into whiskey. Now, when I got into the aspect of creating, I'll never forget that light bulb moment. Was I was behind the stick at Hard Rock Cafe, and so we were, we had the 22-ounce Hurricane glasses and blah blah blah, or 24 ounce, right? And people would want whatever in it.
Wow.
Oh yeah, hurting for certain. And so
Jesus.
and little man poured big, yes. So,
That's right.
So I had somebody come in, and there was always that person. Hey, can you make whatever from Applebee's? Can you make whatever from here? And this girl asked me for a
Get outta
banana
here.
split, a frozen banana split cocktail, like she had
A
at TGI
virgin?
Friday.
Oh,
No,
Lord.
frozen.
Oh, frozen. My bad.
Yeah,
They said
yeah, we had
virgin.
body mixes behind the bar back then, and so she asked me for that, and I just sat there and I started like picking apart. Okay, well, let's see. Starting out, of course, there's banana in there, there's nuts somewhere, there's cream, and I went down the list and in the cherry, and so it's like I put it all together, and she dug it, and I was like,
Started vodka.
hey, yeah, and I was like, I'd like to start, like breaking down recipes, like so I started talking to like cooks, and then I moved into, privately owned bars and restaurants, and, I started talking with chefs, like, hey, like, how do you approach a certain dish? And then next thing you know, it's like, I'm asked to put together a cocktail menu at the first spot where I held that capacity. So I always let the chef take the lead. And so he curate his menu, and then I do something to coordinate with him or her.
Nice.
And so that was how it started. But from once I started creating, of course, you have to go back to the basics. I'm a martial arts instructor, right? So it's like you always have what they call
Yeah, go back.
Wait, time out. Wait.
So what?
Yeah, I'm sorry. In another life. In another life. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, now I'm old and fat. But
Wait, what? Wait, hold on. What martial
What?
art?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
What practice? Discipline.
let's see. I started
Taekwondo?
out when I was 6 years old in Taekwondo, and then I went to Hapkido. So I was a first degree black belt in Hapkido, second degree in
You
Taekwondo.
don't say.
See,
I trained in Shotokan karate, trained in Muay Thai, small circle jiu-jitsu. I'm a first degree black belt, only a blue belt in Brazilian.
I'm so
Hey,
glad we
I
didn't
take
decide to
back-
jump him in.
I
I
take
thought
back
we were gonna jump him
everything
in.
I ever said about you, Speedy. My
Exactly.
bad, bro.
We were just
My
they were just
bad.
jokes.
Man, it was
I
all
freaking
true,
love
Jay.
you, dude. I love you, bro.
But
I got no fight with you.
Wow.
but no, man, I'm a
Holy
delicate
crap.
flower. Shit.
Can I ask you one
Wow.
question? Because I think we're
Pretty
about the same
bird.
age. Was any of this influenced by seeing The Karate Kid?
Oh no,
That's
I'm older than
hilarious.
that. No,
Oh,
Bruce
yeah.
Lee.
I love
Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee.
Bruce Lee.
Nice.
Dude,
Yeah.
I wanted to change my name to Bruce when I was a kid. No doubt. For real.
See,
Nothing wrong with
Bruce
that.
Leroy.
Yeah, there you go.
for real.
Bruce Leroy all day.
It's my
Show
combo.
enough.
But yeah, when
are the
when we were little, like Mac and Jay, you'll probably remember this. Kung Fu Theater every Sunday on.
Oh,
Saturday or Sunday on
absolutely.
USA.
Absolutely.
Dude, for me,
There you go.
we had the Kung Fu
You did it
came
for
on
real.
after the cartoons on Saturday, and I mean we would literally
Yeah.
watch that and then go out and beat the crap out of each other out in the yard
Yeah.
That's what's
Why
up.
every
not?
Saturday, straight up.
And you'd be surprised when the move actually worked. You'd be like, oh, I did. Okay, yeah, there it is. I'm
Oh.
nice.
Jimmy, I forgot. My bad. I didn't mean to knock you out. Hey, go get Jimmy's mom.
Yeah, he'd be all right.
But yeah, going
Put some
back
dirt on
to
it.
the martial arts analogy, the reason I bring that up is that's how I always approached it when I taught bartenders, when I taught anyone, is I had to teach myself this way. So I went to go back to the classics because like when you first start out martial arts,
Mhm.
you don't go into certain like in karate they're called kata, right? You don't go into a fifth ear movement. You have to start with the basics, so it's all slow, foot driven stuff like that. So with me,
Like a
I went
dance.
back to the classics and I was looking at classic cocktails, and that's where I learned to kind of slow my roll, so to speak, and then grow from there. And that's once I got more advanced, that's when I got really ambitious and blah blah blah. But that's it.
Okay.
Nice.
Young Speedy.
Wow, that's very interesting, Speedy. I love this show, man, because we get to know about each other. Like I did not
That's
see
a
that one
fact.
coming,
No,
Speedy.
right?
Yeah.
No.
They say
Impressive,
my
sir.
Out of
country.
left field.
Somebody got the question, my son.
Oh, there we go. Come on.
Okay. All right.
He's giving.
Hey.
Look, you got to pay for this, people.
I want to tell you something else embarrassing about
Subscribe.
myself is that I had never seen The Karate Kid until last year, which
Oh no.
my wife was very embarrassed for me.
Did you see the one with Jaden?
Wait.
Jaden Smith
What?
or the new
No,
one? I mean,
the
the old
original
one.
Ralph
Okay, making sure. I
Macchio.
don't,
Yeah.
hey,
The original.
I'm just hey,
Come
it's
on,
out there
man.
now.
Wow.
Kung Fu, that wasn't karate.
Hey, I don't know. I know that came out
So-
recently.
So we watched the
Thank you for that.
first two movies. I didn't have a VCR growing up until kind of later. And so I sort of, all those kind of blockbusters from the 80s,
Nice.
my wife is always like, what planet are you from? How have you not seen
Yeah,
this
man.
later?" You know?
the VCR beta or VHS, by the way?
Oh.
Oh, VHS.
Okay, all right. just
Okay,
checking. All right, my
okay,
bad.
yeah,
Go,
yeah.
go.
Bingo.
Go ahead, man.
The
Bingo.
first thing we watched on that VHS was super weird. Did you guys see the Dark Crystal? That weird.
Yes.
Oh, God, yeah.
Freaky.
I was never able to get through the whole thing. After a while, I was like, I'm not watching this anymore.
I
can't.
saw it in the theater last year in
Yeah.
Los Angeles. Oh man, that's a weird movie.
It
Anyway,
is.
so
Dark.
we watched Karate Kid. Favorite line has to be, "Put him in a body bag, Johnny."
Oh, there you go. And that's from a writer. That's
Put
from
him
a
in a-
writer.
Hollywood
well, also
Matt.
the kid's like, if he's watching, he probably isn't, but like, just not the best actor, but really,
Oh,
really
no.
into it. And he's just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
body bag, Johnny. My favorite part of the movie.
I love that.
repeat it all the time.
Yes.
I've almost seen it recently. But within a year, we moved and we bought the condo that we live in now. And you might recognize this. We live in Tarzana, but a couple blocks that way is a neighborhood called Reseda.
Oh,
where-
from Reseda.
It's
That's
where
right.
From
he lives in the
Reseda.
Karate Kid. Mhm.
That's
Yeah.
what's up.
So you actually have been. Did they shoot that Reseda? Probably not.
Probably not.
Yeah.
But
Too bad.
Reseda's right over here.
But
Also,
see, that's the thing.
Encino, of Encino Man fame, is the
Yeah.
neighborhood that way.
See, fun facts right there,
Yeah.
people.
We live in
You
Los
got to pay
Angeles.
for this one.
Yeah.
LA Times,
Yeah.
baby. LA Times, for sure.
So is this on me, the cocktail, or Jay? What's up?
I want to go with you. I'm gonna end it out with a bang.
Okay, because I'm not. All right, so let me tell you, because I'm not a cocktail guy. So let me tell you, I will say one of my first was kind of like Matt. I used to do the whole Long Island iced tea, but that's already been said. So the one I did, which was a little, Macish, I would say I used to
Fuzzy
be really
Navel?
big in the. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. I used to love the nightlife. I was a big club guy. Go figure, right? But I was a nightlife kind of guy. So yeah, boop, 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 glow sticks. No,
I
I
love
didn't
the
do all that.
boogie.
Yeah. No, none of that boogie stuff. We were doing up in hip hop. But I'll tell you this.
Said glow sticks for sure.
I tried to impress. I remember my girlfriend, who is now my wife. Go figure, right? But
Okay,
I was
all
trying to
right.
impress. Yeah, we've been together for a long time, boss. But
So you did
I was,
impress her.
yeah, absolute. And this is how I did it. So
She
let me
fell
just.
for it.
So
Good job,
those
Mac.
A
take notes
Long
right
Island
here.
iced tea.
No, it was not a Long Island. That night, it was an Incredible Hulk. Yes, hypnotic. Oh,
Oh,
and let me
Like
tell
a
you the reason.
hypnotic.
wow.
Hypnotic, and when you put that in there, that mixture, I guess it was a Hennessy or something they put in there. I don't know.
Hennessy, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it just turns
Mhm.
green, and you're like, look, this is nightlife, club action. I'm giving you life, baby, and she loved it. And then from then on,
Wow,
she knew I was the right man. But I'm gonna tell you, cocktails just
that's
I think
scary.
I know it is. Yeah, and Long Island iced teas and Incredible Hulks have definitely been my go-to. But let me tell you this: after I stopped doing Incredible Hulks, I started going more into kind of like what you guys said about the rum. I went more into the
This was
rum.
like a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah,
or
pretty much. Man, I wish. I wish. So this was like,
Pre-pandemic days.
shoot, this is back in the early 20s, right? So I would say this because I honestly started going into scotch before I was 30. So I got into scotch when I was like
Okay.
28,
All right.
29, somewhere in there.
That's what's up.
So the 20s, I did the mixed drinks only because I didn't understand the concept of when you go from one spot to the next, it may be different completely. Like, especially around this area.
Right.
I mean, the whole
Mhm.
thing is
Yeah.
you're like, wait a minute, how much? You're not putting enough, freaking alcohol. This is nothing but
Mhm.
juice. And I got to pay you
Juice.
$17. This is crazy.
Mhm.
So my whole thing, yeah, God forbid, right?
Whew.
So my whole thing was just start drinking straight. I know what I'm getting. I know the amount. I
Good
know what I'm
point.
going to get out of it. So
Yep.
that's kind of my cocktail story in a nutshell.
Can somebody, for the layman, explain to me what is in an Incredible Hulk?
Oh,
I'm
does
That's
anybody
it.
know?
familiar with
I
the
really don't know. I
name,
just drink them.
I
but
think
what's
that
the
was it.
recipe for an Incredible
Yeah,
Hulk?
hypnotic and
Yeah,
Hennessy.
Hypnotic
and
and
Hennessy.
Hennessy.
It
And
turns green.
and
That's
what's in
it?
hypnotic? I have no freaking clue. I know it's blue. It probably had cognac in it and like some fruit juices, and then probably blue number 40. I don't know. Who knows? I
Oh
don't.
yeah, it probably
Cheetos.
I
had
can't
Some
something.
remember.
Cheetos.
Good point, man. I'm gonna tell you. I know one thing. In the DMV, if it's got Hennessy in it, they gonna love it. So,
Period.
period.
Done.
I love it. I love it. All right, Jay. I'm
Every
sorry,
day.
brother.
Oh
Give me something
man.
good.
Let me think,
Go
man. Let me
hard.
think. So, like I said, the high school thing was the bottled Montebello iced tea. But I mean, I think the first cocktail, simply, I mean, not necessarily a cocktail, just like everybody, I was Jack and Coke. I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
I
yeah.
grew up a whiskey guy,
Mhm.
always as a, like I said, that story that goes back to being a baby and teething, and
Yep.
my great grandmother telling my dad to put some makers on that boy's gum, and
Good gracious.
that's how it worked. You know what I'm saying? So I've been a whiskey guy ever since. But that was my first intro. I think really when I came to a bar, I'd be like, hey, let me get a Jack and Coke. Easy, simple. That way I don't look like an idiot. Like Matt was saying.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
But Jay, are you originally from Georgia? Are y'all from
no,
you
no,
from down
no.
there?
I'm from Cincinnati, man.
That's
I'm
right,
Ohio
Cincinnati.
player, baby.
I was about to say
OP.
you don't sound like you from down that way, but okay, I was making
Mm-mm.
sure. I was just curious.
Oh yeah, I'm Ohio
Yeah.
player, man, all
My
day.
God.
Yeah, oh yeah. So I came down here in in the early '90s.
Okay.
Just not dating myself, but I came down here and I went to school at Morehouse. So peace and love to all my Morehouse brothers.
There you
But
go.
so
House.
after I graduated, I mean, going out to spots and stuff like that, Jack and Coke all day.
Mm.
As I got a little bit older, I guess I probably turned more so always keeping it whiskey. I turned onto an old fashioned. That was easy
Oh,
to go into.
okay.
Before they got to be real cool, I was asking for old fashioned. So,
Mhm.
and then from there, then when I got into working in a bar in a restaurant, they had there's a spot called Simone's. This is when I went back to Cincinnati. Went back to Ohio. I was working after my corporate stint. I started working at a spot called Simone's,
Mm.
and the owner there, had come up with a few different cocktails, and a lot of them were like real fruity. I mean, just a lot of stuff, mainly a lot of stuff with vodka, stuff like that. So that kind of got me into just playing around with different drinks, really trying to take it a little bit more seriously other than pouring beer, wine, and Jack and Cokes or Hennessy on the rocks or So, and then when I came down to Atlanta, it was at a few different spots, and then finally ended up in at One Flew South. Excuse me. And One Flew South was really where it changed my mindset from being like, I'm not just making, simple drinks or stuff like that, and just shooting them out. Like I'm crafting cocktails. And so, I mean, I got to give a big shout out and big love to my chefs there, who was Chef Todd, Chef Dwayne, who was my man, and then Jerry Slater, who was it was a trifecta. It was those were the Trinity there at One Flew South who made it what it was. But Chef Dwayne was the one who gave the nod, was like, yo, I like this dude. We need to hire him. And so with me coming in there and learning up under Jerry Slater, that taught me to appreciate cocktails, how to build them, how to learn different spirits and how to mix them with the bitter, the sweet, sour, stuff like that. So, and then we came in, and I've been there from day one, and the last of the original bartenders, but there's so many influences from that place. Somebody I came in with was my homegirl Tiffany Barrier. That was my ace in the hole. It was me and her behind the bar, and
TB.
she is a she's a monster.
She's in DC now, right?
No, Tiffany's still here. She
Is?
travels though, dude. Yeah, she travels. She's like, she's a badass. Excuse my French, but she's
That's French.
And from
Good
right.
God.
And from my time at One Flew South,
Badass.
I ran into a lot of badasses, man. I mean, seriously.
Badasses.
Yeah, badasses.
Yes, badasses.
For sure. So
Really?
I mean, from her, from Toki, from Tondi, from my man Vidal, Delay. I mean, it's just a host of folks. Jacinta.
Jeez.
It was a gang of people.
Vicente. I like that.
Jacinta. Yeah.
Oh, Jacinta. Okay, I like that too.
Yeah, but it was just a gang of people who have come through there. But I mean, really taught me to appreciate it. But then on the other side, it's so crazy. We're making craft cocktails, and we're in an airport.
Right.
So,
Right. There you go. Come on.
Yeah, man.
man. So
Yep.
I mean, us coming up with craft cocktails, and you having people who really appreciated the fact that you'll be able to do this in a bar, in a restaurant, in the airport. But then there are some people who are like, hurry up, let me get my drink, and other folks who like have time to sit down and relax and really like just be amazed at the fact that we're doing it like that. So that was really where I cut my teeth. I got to give a quick shout out to one of my boys, man. My man Eugene, huge. I was working at a spot called we opened it called Stats in Atlanta, down on Marietta Street. Okay. And Eugene was a brother that came from the UK, right? So first and foremost, I'm looking at a man. I was like, man, we got brothers that's in the UK. I was like, holy crap, man!
Blimey.
Exactly. So he comes in and he makes a sour with an egg white. And I'm like, man, you done lost your freaking mind.
Yeah, that's
right?
How they do it. That's how they
right,
do it,
exactly.
Yeah.
And and then after my time of being at One Flew South, I was like, man, I was making fun of this guy, but I was a freaking idiot. So I looked like a
no.
Right. So but Eugene was the man who introduced me to making sours with egg whites. And so that I knew that. So once I came to One Flew South and we started doing stuff and experimenting and making different cocktails, I was like, oh yeah. So he wasn't crazy. I was like, okay, right. Cool. So yeah, but that's been my road to cocktails. But I mean, I have to be straight up I'm a bartender. I'm really good at relating to people. I'm really big on the classics. Like I can, I know the recipes and I can tweak out and do something like that. Creativity and being a mixologist and be like, I don't like that vermouth. I'll try this vermouth. That's not me. I'll be straight up. That I'm not that guy. But if there's a cocktail that that you've heard of and you have some idea of what the daggone ingredients are, I can make it up for you and I'm gonna make it darn good.
I bet that's right.
For sure. So I mean,
Matt, you was about to say something about that though.
Well, I was thinking I was gonna ask a follow-up then of Speedy if he has a favorite vermouth that he could share.
Really? Y'all break down the vermouths?
No, because
God.
I mean, there are differences. Jay just said that he doesn't care, and honestly, I don't care as much.
I do, but I don't.
Yeah.
Carpano.
Carpano for Manhattan.
Carpano
right?
and Pica.
Carpano.
So that's on this level. You know what I'm saying? You do the
pricey for the
Carpano.
home bar,
Look,
right?
that's the only level I drink it on.
But
I don't.
but
I got some
Next to the Gulch.
Dubonnet. I got some
I
Dubonnet in
see
the
the
cabinet right now,
Dolan,
and I
though.
like Dubonnet. Yeah.
So you're using
Dolan's a
Dolan
staple. Dolan's a
instead of
staple.
Carpano, or do you also have
No,
Carpano?
it depends. You know, it's situational. As far as like an everyday, Dolan all day, all night. Now, if I want to be sassy, you know, and treat myself, that's when I go. You know, if it's something like really complex that I'm mixing with, that's when I go with the Antica.
What are your thoughts on Cochi Detrino?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, man. Yeah,
absolutely. Coach and
Got some
Trina.
young
Yeah.
kids.
I'm trying to feel like I know what the hell I'm talking about right now.
Dude, look, I know what you're talking about. Coachy and Trina. Coachy and Trina is my
Nino,
go-to.
Give me some puta mess.
Come on.
It's a mess.
You know what you're talking about, man. You know what you're saying, man.
That's right, baby.
Bye, guy.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Go ahead,
do you guys
bro.
have a cocktail that you like to use Uncle Nearest in the most?
Speaking of that,
come on.
My
Well,
wife's is an old-fashioned Demerara, simple
yeah,
Angostura.
easy.
It's
It's
so
easy.
good.
Easy.
But-
Every day. Old fashioned for sure. It's April, so I mean I'm pushing out there. If you look at your UN calendar, the cocktail for April is that nearest to happiness. And so right now that's what I'm pushing the heck out of that. I mean, you know, hey, let's make
And
it
is
a
this
national
a J
national
Madison
drink.
original?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's like
See, you're like,
a reference.
I'm not a mixologist.
Yeah.
My
I mean, you know,
cocktail's
it's a reference. I mean, it's like
calendar.
it's like a play on a bourbon smash. I mean, simple and put, man. You know, all that other stuff is like, you know, you could do all that, but it's like a play on a bourbon smash, man. And I mean, just decided to take out some stuff and swap in some things, and you know, instead of and put in the Lillet Rouge, which was give it some color. Yeah,
come
there.
on,
Yeah,
Lillet.
Yeah.
Jay, I have to tell you,
Bruh.
if
Lillet
you have a
all day.
cocktail in a
Yeah,
calendar, you're a mixologist.
Yeah. Well.
Or you know, you
Or
pay
you work for the
somebody
company,
off.
I guess. Yeah.
Either one works.
When it comes to that term, man, you know, that's one of those I've always kind of had a love-hate relationship with because, you know, with
Speak
mixology,
on it, bro.
Really?
Stop taking yourself so damn seriously. We are not curing cancer here, man. What we are doing is providing memories. Okay?
There you go.
Boom.
Stop
Boom.
talking down to people. Stop making people feel stupid because they don't know about a certain Amaro or something like that. Okay, we're here to educate, but you don't have to be a butthole about it.
There you go.
Good word.
Yeah.
And that wasn't in French. He didn't use French for that one.
No, that's German. I think, right?
Straight on, that's good old American. Good old American language right there, baby.
But I mean, but legit, you know, I mean, when you hear I'm a mixologist, you know, and you can hear them like in their head. Do you say dads and mumsy? You know, it's like, you know, you're not a mixologist. It's like, you know, with somebody who's an expert with plumbing and stuff like that. You know, it's like you're a plumber. You're not a pipe technician. It's like what you do.
There it is.
You know? And I mean, you know, I've done this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, when you're doing blue collar work and stuff like that, you know, take pride in what you do. Don't make up a new term for it. Even though the term mixologist dates back to like the, you know, late 19th, early 20th century. You know, it's in periodicals from back then. But, you know, through the years, it just became, forgive me, bastardized. And all of a sudden, people are back there, and you know, and I wore an apron too. All right, but you're back there, and you're like, okay, well, I'm going to take this cocktail and I'm going to stir it ever slowly. And shut up. When in doubt, make it red, send it out. Unless it's blue, refer to steps 1 and 2. Go.
Whoa.
You know?
Gotta pay for this, people.
Player right there. That's old school.
You gotta pay.
Man.
See, and I think that's one reason why I didn't get into cocktails. I think some people, the way people feel about whiskey, that it's intimidating. I felt that way about cocktails, that I was going to be outed as someone who wasn't knowledgeable, you know, in my 20s.
Yeah.
It's funny. In regards to this game, in regards to being bartenders, there's only a certain percentage who are at that level. It's kind of like golf. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people do it, but a few of them are good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, to that freaking level. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, we going into it and you making your own bitters, you making your own shrubs, all that type of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I'm doing
you know what I'm saying? The majority of bartenders are not on that level. They're not.
Yeah.
I mean, flat out. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, I appreciate that, and I got love for that. So, no hate on that. You know, if that's you, do you. But, I mean, like Speedy was saying, it's like, you don't need to smack the crap out of your people in front of the bar, because half the time, they're like, dude, just give me a good drink that tastes good. Like that's my thing. I'm gonna make sure your drink tastes good.
Let the non-mixologist speak right now. I'm
Come
gonna
on,
tell you
buddy.
that's the reason why I got turned away. One of the reasons why I got turned away from different cocktails. It's because it's always got to be like you have to have this refined palate to taste this and know that it's good. I'm like I don't know. Sometimes it's just too fruity for me,
It's
and I don't know how to
good or it's
explain that.
bad.
Yeah, I don't want that. I want something that's going to pop, hit me, and let me go. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sitting here being like, oh, did you taste the pomegranate? I don't know. Give me something that's going to hit the spot. You know?
Speedy, can I ask you, if you were to recommend a book for a novice home bartender, what would it be?
Oh.
Well, that's one right behind you.
Death
and Co.
Oh, yeah. Big time.
Imbibe is one that I highly recommend. Another one I'm a big fan of, I turned on to probably about 2 years ago. One of my chef friends bought it for me. Liquid Intelligence. And so, yeah, that one, you know, they can get a little geeky, you know, at some points, but they're not intimidating. And especially, you know, as far as like starting out, go with that Death and Co book. We actually, as a company, we actually have a partnership with Death and Co.
I don't think I knew that.
Tell them what that is, sir. Go ahead.
Okay, so
you mean I could have gotten a discount on this book?
Yeah. Or get it free?
Who knows? Now with NGD, Nearest Green Distillery, you know, we have Heritage Hall that's under construction right now. We are partnering up with Barrel House Barbecue. On the back end of there is I don't know how much I'm allowed to talk about, but we are putting a pretty substantial bar back there.
Exclusive.
So our consultants of choice are now that Copper Skies cocktail that I make all the time that I sell. I barrel age at the distillery itself. So barrel age it back there, but those components were all conceived by a gentleman out of Death and Co. Where I came in on that was, you know, I just kind of tweaked the recipe a little bit. He conceived it directly for Tales of the Cocktail last year. And what they did was ask a few of us to kind of play around with it. I happened to be the one with no life. So I made it that weekend, tied it all together. But one of the components in it is cinnamon syrup. So I make the cinnamon syrup homemade from there. And what I did was basically quadruple the heat index, add a little more spice to it, and brought it up from there. But yeah, the rest of the components, that was all our friend out of Death and Co.
You see how you just did that?
Very
Speedy
cool.
took what you had behind you, connected the dots.
Didn't even know.
Boom. You got to pay for this, people. You got to pay for it. I don't know.
Subscribe.
Bam.
It's crazy. It's crazy. That's good. And you know, another part about that with this Whiskey Dads, I appreciate that because Speedy, you were there in Nashville. You could give us the insight of what's going on at the distillery.
Yes.
So wherever Speedy is, Whiskey Dads, check us out.
I'm
saying.
I'll tell you this guy right here.
Get some inside information. This is good.
Jay.
This is good, man. I appreciate that, man. This is great.
We had a very nice conversation with some consultants this past week. So it was me, Keith, Fawn's husband, the co-founder, and architect, and these two individuals. Yeah, Keith's the man.
Absolutely,
the man.
Yeah, you know, Keith is in the background. He doesn't get love, man. What's up, Keith? Well, this
yeah.
What's up, Keith?
Big Keith. You know, when you see that dude, you're gonna want to give him love. Because that guy comes through and you're like, whoa, okay.
Man, when we were in Louisville this past September, that night we did karaoke. It's like, you know, came off the stage, put down my microphone. I turned around. It's like, I'm just like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like you just run into a chest.
He's like, Speedy, I love you so much. And leans down and picks me up, and it was like a polar bear hugging a baby seal.
Yeah. I love it.
That's good. That's good.
But, you know, never get to see him. And, you know, when it was kind of weird, you know, at first when we started this conversation the other day, because we're on a conference call, it wasn't a Zoom or anything like that, right? So Keith is talking. So I found myself just sitting there.
Yeah, right.
And then all of a sudden it'd be a dead silence. Say, hey, Speedy, you want to speak to that? Okay. Oh, it's my turn. Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, it was great, man.
My guy Speedo.
They are truly a dynamic duo, man. Fawn and Keith Weaver, man. They're
Facts.
They make it happen, man. They make it happen for real.
Legit.
I love it for real. That's good. Well, how we doing there, Mr. Mr. Timekeeper, are we doing good? This has been a great
well.
conversation.
I would say before we close up, let's tell people that they can buy Uncle Nearest online and have it delivered. You can, and if you're looking
That's
for
true.
some dry vermouth, Jay, you can have some
Yes.
delivered to your house.
Bye.
Do you have Drizzly in Georgia?
Not in Georgia. We do not.
Okay,
We do not.
never
Yeah,
mind.
we don't either. Not in VA.
So keep making your regular Manhattan.
Right.
Oh,
There's plenty of
dang.
services that
Go
can deliver.
curbside. Just go curbside.
Or curbside. Yeah. So Drizzly,
True.
wine.com. I know, what is it? Minibar.
Coffee.
Some
Yes.
places, Stassi can deliver
Mhm.
things like Uncle Nearest and also some cocktail items. I would say too, I haven't bought this yet, but Mac, there's a book by Robert Simonson that came out last year called 3 Ingredient Cocktails. He was a New York
Really?
Times writer, food and drink writer, but also a theater critic, I think. I recognize his
Okay.
name.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But yeah, they're all 3 ingredient cocktails, which means you don't have to build out a huge bar to make some of these things. And
That's what
focus
I
on the
like.
classics, and I think that might be a fun thing for you to pick up.
I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
My man,
Oh, yeah.
Matt. See, that guy
Um,
looks out for me. That's a
man.
true whiskey dad. Come on.
Right at you.
And always go straight to unclenearest.com and buy it and ship it straight out to you. I mean,
I think is it still there's a promo code right now for free shipping on Uncle Nearest that's liquid gold.
yes,
Come on.
yes, there you go.
Uh-oh.
Excellent.
Free gold.
Man.
You go to our website, you put that
Good
in
job.
there, free shipping.
They're gonna
job.
love you. Whiskey dads around the world are gonna be like, man, that guy Matt Carlson comes through.
All
Okay.
day,
Oh
every
my
day.
God.
Before we close, can I just ask you guys doing all right? Everybody got toilet paper? Your family's doing okay?
Yeah, man. Listen.
I have
Do
to say,
it.
I
important
found
thing.
toilet paper last week. I go grocery
Oh,
shopping
no.
super early in the morning, wear my mask, and I went in, and there wasn't like the normal 6-pack. There was just like 24
piece.
packs.
Gotta get it.
Without
got
the roll
this,
in
like,
the middle.
$25, thing of toilet paper.
Yeah.
Right.
But you guys good?
Man, listen, I'm gonna be honest. I got pretty much more than I think I normally would have. Oh my, is that what you have at home?
No, but
I'm about
they
to
finally
say-
broke it out at the
Oh.
grocery store by my house. I had to take a picture, man. I wept
Oh.
openly.
I was about to say, are you a hoarder?
Wow.
If you're hoarding toilet paper, you're the problem. You're
I
not
I'm telling you,
wept
exactly.
openly.
Exactly. We're gonna turn you in
man.
after this, Speedo.
We were getting kind of low, so I was very happy to see it.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I don't think we use that much toilet paper in a month. I mean, I
You're
feel
more
like
of a
people have
bidet
gone
guy?
out.
No.
I
'Cause
mean, yeah.
The reason why is why is that, Mac? Why is that, Mac? It's probably the main reason why you were up last night. Is because you have more. You got baby wipes, bro.
I do have baby wipes. I do have
y'all
baby
not
wipes for
using toilet
days.
paper. Everybody's using baby wipes.
Why not?
That's
I
what's
mean,
going
I just don't understand why people went crazy over like getting so much of it. Like I saw on TV, people were getting like 5 packs, and I'm like 5, and they're like a house of like 3 people. I'm just like, that's kind of
Right.
5. How much crap y'all doing a day? I don't know. I don't do a lot, but
You all are full of
once
it.
you're good. But
I feel like I may have directed this conversation into territory we were supposed
Sorry.
to avoid.
Yeah,
It's okay.
sorry.
It's okay.
Got
it's
into
okay.
it.
Yeah, we'll come back.
Uncle
We'll come back.
Nearest.
But Mac, all day, like, how you doing, man? How's the family? How's everybody going?
Man,
Whiskey
listen,
dads, man.
everything is good. I'll be honest with you. My soon to be 3-month-old. He's very particular about how you hold him and how
Wow.
he's just one of those, man. Like my daughter, pretty different, right? You never know what you're gonna get with a kid, right? Boy, girl, whatever. You don't know what it's gonna be. So, he comes out, he's like, look, if you don't hold him a certain way, he'll look at you dead in your eye and just give you the business. Like,
Wow.
and it's just like, okay. And then he'll go deep into it. Like, no, hold on. You thought I was crying in. Hold on, let me turn this up.
Wow.
Bam. It turns up even more. You're just like, man. So there's a lot
What's
of walking
the correct
around.
way to hold him?
So you
Yeah,
got
I
it.
was
So
gonna-
good question. So,
Yeah.
well, the dad way is not going to be the best way because the best way to hold him, you got to be next to mom for one. Now, the
Mhm.
dad way,
Wow.
yeah.
That
Oh, it's,
sucks
oh
for
yeah.
Mom.
Yeah, absolutely. So I do the left arm, right, to brace him. Then the
Mhm.
right hand where his bottom is, right? There you go,
Okay,
right?
okay,
There you go. There you
okay.
go now, Matt.
With this?
The right hand where the bottom is.
Yep,
Now,
yep.
when you're shaking, right. Now, he likes his
Mhm.
head to do a little bit more wobble. He likes to be a little more loose in the head area. Right. I don't know. There you go. And then when he gets real deep into it, you got to drop it down a little bit. You got to bring it up. Yeah, drop it down. There you go. He likes that free fall. And he goes, oh, okay. all right.
What?
He likes the free fall.
That's crazy.
So
I got you.
there you go. Yeah, easy right there. Matt's ready to go. So, as soon as this thing is over, I expect you to come by and Hold my son
Right.
a while. I don't know.
Me
But
and
I got
Speedy,
plenty
me
of
and
time to
Speedy,
babysit.
yeah,
me and
absolutely.
Speedy are so far removed from that. We're like,
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
wow,
you guys are done with that.
damn,
Yeah, we're
wow.
close to it. But I mean, other than
Oh,
that, my daughter's amazing. She's doing a lot of work. She's doing a lot to help out with my son, myself, my wife. The hardest
right
thing
on,
real
big
quick for
sister.
her, yeah, the hardest thing with her real quick is just like Jay's gonna probably say this a lot, is keeping them on their school, like their school stuff. Because like the schools, I'm telling you, man, they sent her the first week they barely sent her anything. Then like the next week it was like spring break. And now, it's like boom, do all this, do all that. And I'm like, man, I got a job.
Man,
I got my son. I got my wife. I
man,
got a lot on my plate, man, just to go through the day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm
that is,
saying?
man, hallelujah, amen to that on that whiskey dad. I
Tell him
mean,
now. Tell him, Jay.
it's freaking bananas, man.
There you go.
Really, the work that, like, imagine of course the kids are in school, like my kids are in the school. Shout out to everybody, all the Drew dads, check it out from Drew Charter School. But my
Nice.
kids are in school from 8
Drew
a.m.
Charter?
to 4 p.m. and
Yep.
they're literally sending them work
Yeah.
that
Facts.
keeps them busy from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. So my wife has now gone from being a freelance makeup artist and photographer
Yep.
to being a teacher.
Certified.
Right. And I'm a part-time, I'm a substitute teacher.
There you go. Uh-oh.
So like it's so much daggone work, and we have a laptop and a desktop.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
Like, pre-pandemic, it's like, okay, we're good.
We're good.
Now
right.
it's like, yo, we need like 2 more computers in this house. So that, with helping out, and you got to stay on. I got a first grader and a 5th grader. So first grader, you definitely got to watch because, she'll put a virus on the daggone computer in like
Bingo.
2 seconds. You know,
they got ads. All those programs got ads in them, and you're like, man, wait a minute, why y'all put ads on the kids' programs?
And she just wants to click. She just wants to touch stuff. Just,
yeah.
Woo, look at that.
Like,
what is that? Yeah. The 5th grader, he's like, okay. All right, man, look, I don't feel like doing this part. I'm going to do like half of this assignment, and then I'm going to go look at something else, or then I'm just going to start looking out the window. It's like, bruh, come on.
Bingo.
Finish it and turn it in. So it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot, to say the least, man. And then just trying to maintain and keep the party going. I mean, sell as much whiskey as we can, doing this stuff online and just shaking and baking and trying to maintain. And then as a dad, being a dad, I'm blessed and I'm happy as heck to even have a job and to be doing what we're doing. I mean, this is a beautiful thing.
It is.
So
man.
I mean, you want to make sure you stay on top of your job so you get paid and do what you're supposed to be doing.
Absolutely.
It's like, okay, right.
You're
You
doing
see
all that
emails,
while all this other stuff is going on.
Right, freaking out, and then you got like, okay, babe, I got you. I was like, honey, he needs to turn this assignment in by 4:00, or else it's not. He's gonna be incomplete. You're like, oh, okay, all right, okay, all right. Come on, let's go. Sit down, let's go. Okay,
That's
all right.
right.
Finish this,
That's right.
Finish that. I mean, you got to stand there. You really do. So it's
interesting
it's a
times.
balancing act, bro.
Interesting.
It's a balancing act for sure. As you can hear in the background.
What about you guys, Matt and Speedy? How's it holding up?
I'm doing all right. I'm at that point where my daughter, when we put her in the high chair and she sees that we're making her food, she starts to scream. Totally fine before then, but as soon as you got the cubes of frozen baby food that are in the freezer,
Let's go.
You're defrosting them, and she's like,
go.
You're making my dinner.
Yeah.
Why are you slow? She's
Let's
like,
go.
Waiter, where's my drink?
There it is. Fine dining. Fine dining. Come on, Dad.
Garçon. Lady.
Garçon.
Yeah, but it's just out of nowhere. It's just like,
yeah, exactly. And it's 110%.
I'm like, kid, it's still frozen. Do you want an ice cube? I can get you like a cube of frozen peas if you want, but
no.
Yeah. She's also crawling very fast, and I think I've said this before, one of my favorite things.
You're screwed,
I bought a glass cabinet to put our whiskey in, knowing that it was accessible before then. Well, kind of, because now all she wants to do is crawl over there and go, bang, 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 bang.
Oh, no.
And so, like, every 10 minutes, I'm like,
yeah. Like, here's wood right here, baby. You get the wood, not the glass.
That
was complete sarcasm. Complete sarcasm when I said genius. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Glass cabinet. That was a great idea.
Oh, Lord. Yeah. Kids will tear that up. Yeah. I'm just glad that the kids aren't tearing up that one over there. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Yeah. How about you, Speedy? Everybody still ignoring you?
Not enough.
Speedy, tell us real fast. What are the age of your kids, man?
Ones that I know of, 13 and 15.
Gosh.
Yeah, I've got two
Long
girls,
time.
13 and 15. So we had two new additions to the family this past week. My youngest, she's been asking me forever for a ferret. And
Oh,
so
Lord.
as time has
Beastmaster.
gone by, it's like week by week by week, it's just, they need a win. They needed something. So
There you go, Speedy.
Yeah.
finally this past Sunday,
Look at you, Dad.
I
Look at
relented
you.
and started just calling around. And finally I found a place that they were going to have some delivered Wednesday, early afternoon. So took a little
Man.
lunch break. My youngest hopped in the car with me, and the plan was to get a female, because they stink less. And they had
Okay.
Ah.
so,
That's
Duly
true in our
noted.
species as
Duly
well.
picking up
noted.
both. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like real life, right?
Nice. Nice.
Boys are, it's kind of stinky.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we
All right.
have, I call them the emotional support ferrets. But yeah, so
Okay.
we've got two new additions to the family this week, man. And I at first I wasn't really into it, but yeah, man, they got my heart.
There you go.
Good job, Whiskey Dad.
Man.
Right on.
Do you have,
Young
Speedy,
Speedy.
do you have other animals?
Yeah, we've got two cats and a basset hound.
And
How's that working?
How are they interacting with the ferret?
Yeah.
Man, I'll have to send you pictures, man, because this one, a cat.
They're all like cuddling.
Exactly.
Oh.
No, man, there's one where we have a black cat named Samwise, man. His eyes
Right
are
on.
saucer. He's sitting there right next to the ferret, just looking like,
Like, I'm going.
what
Get
is this?
I'm
Yeah,
gonna kill
right.
Oh, no, no, no.
You better not.
No, they're not.
You better not close your eyes.
They're not looking to kill it or anything like that. Just like, what the hell is this?
I think that's what my dog is like with our
It's
daughter.
not a
She's
cat,
just
but
like,
it's something else.
why did you do this? We were so happy together. Why did you ruin it?
That's
Ah,
Like
hilarious.
the last 8 months, my dog's just been like, what did you do?
It's all downhill. It's all downhill.
It's not us anymore. Like
Yep.
we got this little thing over here crawling
I
around.
thought we had this
Dang.
thing.
Oh,
And
that's
She's
hilarious.
playing with that
Whoa.
out.
Holy crap.
Whoa,
I'm scared,
that's
brother.
real.
So
Yeah.
that's our cat. That's our cat sitting there next to
Freaking
it.
out.
Like, what the hell is this?
Wow.
Oh yeah.
That's scary,
Man.
bro. If I saw that at Pet Cemetery, whatever, that thing is scary to me. I don't know. Good gracious.
He kind of looks like the dragon from How to Train Your Dragon.
Oh, it does. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
Not
my
hiccup.
son's favorite. Toothless. That's his name.
Toothless.
Yep.
Toothless.
Oh,
I
yeah.
tell you, true whiskey.
We got
dad.
one. I'm telling you. That's my son's. That's his jam right there. Is the Toothless.
Toothless.
He has that dude everywhere he goes, man. Dragons.
Well,
Awesome.
we can close with the plug for How to Train Your Dragon,
Yep.
available on Netflix or wherever you watch movies with your children.
There you go. Disney
Yeah.
Plus.
Yeah. Oh, we're about to get up out of here.
Oh.
Oh, Matt hit the button. He's done.
I think he just said he's done with it. He didn't want to hit him about Toothless. He must have something against
You
Toothless.
know what
bro.
happened? Jenny Kane was like, "Daddy, that's enough."
Yep. Doop off. Well,
Man,
listen,
well,
guys. I guess we
perfect.
can close it up, right?
I guess so. Hopefully he's able to get back in here within the next 24 seconds.
Exactly.
But yeah. This is a good show, man. This is a
Well, I
good
tell
show. I
you-
don't know if we ran over time or not, but I
Oh.
really had a good time with this show.
Look, not only do we run out of time, we're about to run out of space. I don't know if I have much more space to have this thing recorded on my computer. So,
Pretty much.
with that being said, Matt has just sent a text. I don't know what it's saying, and he says to everyone, "Wrap it for me, gents. Computer died." Wow. All right.
man.
Sorry about that, Matt. Listen, guys, it's been great. Keep doing your thing. Make sure you get your Uncle Nearest. This is Whiskey Dads. We out.
Yo, give a toast to Matt. So
Oh, yeah.
always remember to drink honorably. Peace out to Matt, man. We love you, man. Appreciate the perfect Manhattan, and we'll see you all next week.